Welcome to Message Reveal. Message Reveal identifies a vibe, a message, or a story told through lyrics of a song. So today we have a special guest, and you guys know how I do. I tell you a few things, just a few things that is associated with my special guest. So, one, she's a mother and a wife. We love that. Number two, she owns and operates East Las Vegas Seeds, and we'll find out more about that. And the last thing, but not the least, she's passionate about her sharing her knowledge with the community. So you guys, please put your hand together and welcome this beautiful young lady, Marilyn.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, young lady. Thank you. I always tell my guests, thank you for saying yes, because you could have been anywhere doing any other thing. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you for asking me.
Without a doubt, you have too much going on for us not to share who you are. So let's put the cat out of the bag. Let's talk about your seed program. You know what? Let's take a different route. Before we even do that, tell me a little background about who you are.
So yeah, I'm a mom. I have 3 little ones. I'm married to my high school sweetheart. We've been together since we were 15.
Wow.
Yes, I'm also like professionally, my degree is I'm a vet tech. So I work at the local animal shelter. I do relief work there. Um, And then I also teach garden classes through Clark County Parks and Rec. I teach it to preschoolers. And then I have my seed share. So pretty much the seed share, it's similar to a free, like the free book library. So you take some seeds, leave some seeds if you can. It's free to the community. It's just to have it out there for anyone who wants to garden, to just be able to grab a packet of seeds and try to garden.
I love that. I love that. That's what connected you and I, because you have that passion for that. Um, let's do this. What was the impetus, since we're on that? What was the impetus for you to even begin the seed share program? Because it has to be a beginning, and we want to know what it is.
So I started gardening when I only had 2 little ones. I was suffering through postpartum depression. They were 2 under 2, so motherhood can be pretty lonely. So I just needed to do something that was just for me. So I started gardening. And stuff was growing and I was excited and it was amazing, and seeing my kids do it was amazing. But at that time we were on a very tight budget. So even being able to buy packets of seeds sometimes was just not feasible. But once we started to get better financially, I was able to buy the fancy seeds, the nice seeds. I was able to not think about the cost. And then I started getting more involved in my community. I started teaching the garden classes. And then I was like, I really wish we had a seed library here, because I remember what it felt like not even being able to afford, a packet of seeds, or looking at the seed catalogs and wishing I could have like $20, $30 just so I could buy whatever I wanted. And it's not a good feeling. So I remembered how that felt, and I really wanted for others who were in that kind of position to not have to worry about it, to just be able to go grab a packet of seeds for free and be able to grow. So I was just hoping someone would do it. I'm like, someone's going to do it. Someone's going to come along. Someone will. And no one ever did. So I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it. So I just researched how other communities did it. I sent letters to seed companies, and I was able to get some donations. And then that's how it started. I did my first one on the east side at Solidarity Fridge. She was amazing for letting me do it there. And then it spread from there. So now we have, I believe, 6, and I'm about to put 2 more as well. So
Wow, that's amazing. You know what I've taken away when you were talking about the process? We all identify with that same thing. We're waiting for someone else to do what we need to do. And we think sometimes we're not qualified to do it. We're like, what? Well, maybe no. I'm saying to anybody that can hear my voice, if it's put on your heart and spirit, do it. You're a prime example of you were waiting and no one did it. And just think if you never did it, we would not have, I would not have known you. It's countless people that have utilized the seats that you provided. So the bigger story for me is if it's on your heart, do it, try it. And none of us are perfect. I think sometimes we pull back because we think it has to be perfect at the moment, but it's a part of the process with learning.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's exactly how I felt. I was like, I'm not an expert. Like, I don't have a degree in anything related to this, you know. I thought you had to be an expert, but that's also what I want people to know is you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to know what you're doing. Just grab a packet of seeds, put it in some soil and see what happens. And that's it. And that's how the seed share went. I had no idea what I was
Wow.
doing. But I just did it. And so far it's been a little over a year. It's been going really well. So
That is amazing. I just love to hear that story. With that being said, let's talk about the energy of growing a plant. You said at the beginning, when you were going through your postpartum, you said you would go out there, put seeds, and they would grow.
mhm.
I'm a big believer. I have plants in my house. I'm a big believer. Anything you do, you have to do with the right frequency. I talk to my plants. I love on my plants. Sometimes when I leave the house, I'll turn on music just so the music can play in the plant's ear. Do you believe in that spiritual vibration of plant growing?
Yes, I do. I do. What I always teach my students there's 5 things to grow a plant. You need soil, air, water, sunlight, and love. That's always a secret ingredient is love. Because if you don't love your plants, then they're not going to grow as well. And you're not going to care for them as well. So love is definitely a big part of it. It's, I feel like I'm doing something for the plants, I'm helping them grow, but they're also doing something for me. You know,
Yeah.
they're helping me grow as well. So it's just a way to connect with the earth. Um, it's very healing to just be outside in the sunshine with the birds, touching soil. It's just, it's the best feeling. So yes, I definitely feel like talking, loving on them is very, very important.
I love that. I love that because we have to understand this physical body has tricked us to not be spiritual first. And I think by loving yourself, that's a spirit of love first that then you can execute and give out to everybody else. But you first have to love yourself. So
Mhm.
I love that. I definitely love. So let's talk about you say you teach preschoolers, correct?
Yes. Uh-huh.
What is some of the common things or common thread you've seen when teaching the preschools from like the beginning to the actual end? Because we know this is a process, and in order to plant, it's not an instant gratification thing. Like you put the seed in, you have to water it, you may not see anything, but you still have to have that energy of faith and believe that something is going to produce. How do you execute your class?
Yeah, so yeah, they definitely have to learn patience because they think it's right away. They think as soon as they plant it, they're going to get it. So that's the process. I'm showing them that it takes a while. So we'll plant some seeds sometimes. Sometimes I'll have them transplant little plants and they can see them grow. Right now we planted tulips and they haven't sprouted yet. So it's them, you know, being patient, going out there watering every week and just hoping they'll see it sprout up. But yeah, just teaching them that it's a process, and we're just here for the entire process, and it's not instant gratification. But watching the entire growth process is fun, you know, taking care of them, watering them, making sure they're okay. That it's all part of it. And every week they come in, they see how much bigger their plant got. And um, so I feel like it definitely teaches them to appreciate where their food comes from because a lot of them don't know where their food comes from. They don't know that it doesn't just show up at the grocery store, that farmers out there actually doing everything that we're doing right now. Um, but yeah, it's definitely a bit difficult sometimes, especially with 3 to 4 year olds, because they're just used to give it to me right now. They're not
Of
used to having
course.
to wait sometimes weeks, you know, for them to see the results. But I feel like they walk away from the class a little more patient, a little bit more understanding of how it works.
Do you think that those skills that they learn are now transferable to their parents? Like, do their parents see a different side of them? Like, okay, my teacher taught me we have to wait. Because usually when they're really young like that, they're a sponge. And what you teach them, they want to teach everybody around them. Have you heard their parents come back and give you that feedback like, wow, thank you for that because we see this difference?
Not like that, but I love it when the parents tell me, like, if they're taking home like a plant, they're like, they've been taking care of it, they've been watering it. When we go to the grocery store, they tell me about a plant they grew. Um, or that they're more willing to try new foods.
Mm,
Like my kids, like my daughter the other day grabbed the whole head of broccoli and took that as her snack for the car. So I go,
wow,
what happened to the broccoli? She's like, that was my snack. I was like, okay.
that's
So
amazing.
that, yeah, that they're willing to try new foods. So I feel like that's a win. If a child's
Yes.
willing to try some green vegetables, that's a win.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. So let's talk about you being a mother, a wife, and how do you like really truly, I don't want to call it juggling, but balance everything. How do you do that and also provide some time for yourself?
Oh, it's hard. It is definitely tough. Like right now, like I bribed my kids so they could let me do the podcast so I could have some quiet time. But it's definitely a lot of time management, when my older ones are in school and I just have my little one, try to get as much as I can done. At night after homework is done and baths are done, I try to get an hour or two to myself so my husband takes over.
Oh,
Um,
that's wonderful.
on the weekends, I work, so we don't have to find a babysitter. So during the week, I'm with them, and on the weekends, I work. And we've always done it that way since we had kids, and it's worked out really well. So we don't have to rely on childcare.
Oh,
But it does make it a little hard for my marriage sometimes because I don't see him as often as I like. But we just see it as it's temporary until our kids are a little older. But yeah, it's definitely not easy. Is definitely a little difficult. When I first started the seed share, I was getting up at 4 in the morning because so I could package up the seeds and get everything ready, get everything done before my kids woke up and I had to start getting them ready for school. So it's definitely
wow.
a little bit of sacrifice and time management, but doable, but yeah, difficult.
Well, I say hang in there. I understand. I had two, well, my children are now 13 and 16, but I remember when they were little and they're only 2 years and like 3 months apart. So, they're all in that like young stage together and it can be, and you have three. I just had two. And to balance it and maneuver and work and all those different things, I know now has made me a greater woman. At the time, I may say, oh, I have this or I'm tired with this, but all of that packaged up makes you a greater woman for later. So just know they're not going to always be that age. How old are your babies?
They are 8, 6, and 3.
Oh, wow. Yes. Yes, you got them like, yeah. And
Mhm.
that's great. They get to stair step. They kind of go into school together, but congratulations. And from one mother to another mother, you are amazing and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. It always feels great when mothers of older children tell you, it's it's not that it's bad now, but it's tough when they're little.
Yeah.
And once they become more self-sufficient, you start to be able to do more things that you want to do. Um, but yeah, sometimes it could feel like you're drowning a little bit, especially when they were really little. I was just like, "Oh my God," like, but then they get a little older, a little bit more independent, and then I'm like, "Oh, I wish they were still that little again."
Yes.
And it's like, even though it was hard, even though we were running on no sleep, but yeah, and then I can't imagine when they're teenagers.
Oh,
Oh.
girl, don't rush it. Do not rush it. Enjoy every moment. Someone gave me that advice. Enjoy every moment. Now, let me say this. It's really nice because they're so self sufficient. My thing is to make sure I'm available emotional and have those conversations with them, because now you don't have to give them a bath. Now my son, he knows how to cook. Sometimes he'll be like, hey mom, I'm going to cook. And I'm like, okay, great, thank you. You don't have to provide a babysitter. All those things you had to do before, you have to transition your life to other things. So, but once you're a mother, you never stop being a mother, period. Because I still depend on my mother. And I wouldn't be here talking to you if it wasn't for the support of who she is. So I am who I am because of her. So motherhood is such a beautiful thing. I didn't mean to go on and on about it, but welcome to the club, honey.
Thank you. And I know one of your questions was to share words of wisdom.
Yes.
And my grandmother would always say, niño chiquito, problema chiquito, niño grande, problema grande, which means little child.
I love that you said that in your native language.
Yeah. So little children, small problems, big children, bigger problems. Which, I think about them like right now I'm here like, oh, they dropped the milk or they did this, but those are little problems versus when they're going to get bigger, it's going to be different and bigger, more stressful problems. So I try to think of it like that. I'm like, this is easy. We clean this mess up. We do this, we do that. It's little things.
Yes.
So once they start to become closer to adults, it's more of the adult problems. So,
well, they're also transitioning. We get to pour into them when they're really little, but as they're growing, now they're discovering who they are. And it may not always be in alignment with who you are. So we have to, as parents, we cannot force them. We still give them the foundation, but we have to let them grow into who they are. And sometimes it can be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know they like that. Or I thought I gave them this, but that's a part of being an adult or growing into adult.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely something I try to keep in mind a lot. I'm like, it's changing. It's, it's going to get easier and harder in different ways.
Yeah. Well, I say keep speaking those wonderful things. Keep saying that it's going to get better. And we have the power of the tongue. With what we say can manifest who we are. So, yeah. So let's step back and go into some music. I would love to hear your point of view on this. I usually ask my guests to provide lyrics of a song that has either distracted them, blessed them, or given them a perspective in life. Now, before you answer, there's rules to this. If you can sing, I need you to sing your throw box out. If you can rap, I need you to come hard in the paint and rap it. Now, if you cannot do any one of those, you can say it boldly, with meaning, and with passion. And I'm absolutely okay with that. So going back to my original question, can you provide a song lyric that either blessed you, distracted you, or provided perspective?
So I always really like Tupac's Keep Your Head Up. I love that song. And going back to motherhood, the lyric he has, and since a man can't make one, he has no right to tell a woman when and where to create one. So going back to motherhood, we birth our babies, we, grow our babies. And I think that's an amazing part of motherhood. And I feel like that's something that men don't understand, so you see all these things happening and it's like, appreciate what mothers do because we give life, we make these babies, we raise these babies. And if without mothers, there would be no future.
Listen, it says, I didn't make this quote up, but I'm going to tell you, it says, the hand that rocked the cradle rules the world. We're able to produce, and this is why the world is going around. Now, for example, we have to thank the men that are supportive, that do support us. Because when you came over to my place I saw how supportive your husband was. And even with talking with you, you would say, well, let me see my husband. He can do this. He can do that. So we have to shout out the husbands that are supportive and do understand that we do have a lot on our shoulders and their support means everything. So can you please shout out your husband first and last name?
Amazing. I would not be able to do this without him. I'm so grateful he came into my life. I didn't have a father growing up. So having met him as young as I did, and he's always been just a good, nice guy, has been a blessing in my life. He's always been the one like person I could always rely on since we were kids. My car broke down when I was 16. I didn't have a dad to call to help me. He would come and help me.
Wow.
He's always been there and always figures it out. If I have to do something and he's working, he tries to figure out a way to help me out. So I am so appreciative of him, and he's seen me give birth. So I'm pretty sure he's appreciative of, we've had home births, and one was by ourselves on accident because the it's a story. The midwife didn't make it, so he's seen me go through that. So he's very appreciative of his children.
Oh, wow. I could imagine he's probably a little bit traumatized too if he was pushed in that space before he was ready.
Yes, he's like, what? I have to catch the baby? He's like, no.
But is that your baby that he helped deliver?
No, it was my middle one, my daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. The midwife didn't make it. She came super fast, and then it was in August, and our AC was broken. It was 95 degrees inside my house.
Oh my
Lord.
An
experience. But yeah, she came and she was perfect and healthy and everything went fine. Yeah.
Oh, well, she was coming no matter what, but the circumstances, oh my gosh.
That's definitely her personality, when she wants to do what she wants to do when she wants to. And yeah.
You
said, you're not ready, but I am.
What, August what?
3rd.
You know what? Go ahead, Leo, baby. Go ahead, Leo, baby. I'm August 1st.
I'm a Leo too.
Are you really?
Yeah, August 12th. Yeah.
Oh, all right. All these, I knew I liked you, but the first time I met you, right? From one Leo to another. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's amazing. So let's talk a little bit more about music. Can you tell me or be able to identify the very first song or album or tape that you purchased on your own without any influence, meaning you received some money for either your birthday, you worked, whatever, and you did it on your own? Wasn't no one saying or purchasing it for you. You did it on your own. Can you identify?
When I was a kid, it was the Spice Girls. I loved the Spice Girls. Oh, I was obsessed. So yeah, it was definitely, I don't remember which one, but that's all I played all the time was Spice Girls. I love them so much.
That is so cute. Which one was your favorite?
Baby and Sporty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Can you, right off the top of your head, identify like a particular song or a lyric of a song right off the top of your head?
If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends, which I was a kid singing that, but yeah.
You know what? Now that you said that, I'm thinking about even the words of it. If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends.
Yeah.
And now that I'm older and I look at things and I think about what I'm saying, this leads me into the next question. What song did you sing as a child and you enjoyed it, but when you became an adult, you realized you like, wait a minute, what did that song say? And that's a prime example, but I want you to identify a song that you're like, wow, I didn't know that meant that until I became an adult.
So 112, Anywhere. Like now that I listen to the words, I'm like, that was a very inappropriate song to be singing when I was like 10 years old, 10, 11 years old. So yeah, there's a part where they're like, here we are all alone, you and me, privacy. And I'm like, how was I singing that? But I love them, 112.
Yes.
What are the other ones? Peaches and Cream, all their songs, I love them. And
Yes. Okay.
oh, I should not have been singing those songs.
But you see how music just grabs you in and take over you. And I think we truly connect initially with the sound frequency, the vibration. And that takes us in first. This is my perspective. And then from there, even though we're singing a song, sometimes we're not paying attention. And then sometimes it'll click and you go, wait a minute. I didn't know that. Just like you said, here we are all alone, privacy or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, so it sounds like you have a variety of music that you enjoy. Um, can you identify a tap in song? And what I mean by tap in, we all have our peaks and valleys in life. That's just going to happen. But what kind of song can you identify or use when your spirit is down? Your husband's not around. You can't reach out to a parent or friend. You must encourage yourself. Can you identify a song that you're like, I'll put that on and it brings my spirit up? It pulls me up and I'm like, okay, I'm ready after hearing that song.
So I don't have a particular song, but I know when I just need a moment to um just change how I'm feeling. I love piano music, and it could be any piano music as long as there aren't any lyrics, just the piano. And I'll just put a piano station, and it just helps me to just feel calm and at peace. And they can be playing from Beethoven to just a popular song at the moment, but on the piano. And it just calms me down so much. So the kids know if they hear piano music, mommy needs a little moment. So yeah, anything on a piano really, really helps me to just get in a better mindset.
I think that's wonderful that you even identified that that's a connection for you. And it's great that your kids, because I believe we teach your children, everybody how to treat you. So you said if they hear that, they know mommy needs a little bit of time.
Yes.
That's I think that's amazing. And I love that you're the first one that said piano music. People usually have a particular song, but I love that. I think that's great. When you're like driving, do you guys travel often to maybe California or just travel, period? Do you have a particular song you like to hear when you're traveling?
No, because we usually have the DVD player going to try to keep the kids entertained. So it's usually Disney playing in the background.
Okay. Well, is it
Yeah.
any Disney song that you guys really like off of a particular movie? Maybe the kids like it and it's became something that you guys enjoy because they enjoy it.
Oh my, Lion King. The one
Oh,
I can't wait to be king, and Moana, um, Frozen, like all of those. They are
oh.
obsessed. Yeah.
And they
Toy
can sing
Story.
and they can sing the songs that go along with it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh. Oh, and you're bringing back memories. I remember when I would travel with my children, we would try to leave like when they're asleep. So we have like the majority of the time they're knocked out. And then the rest of the time they won't say, are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Yeah. It's like we've been driving for 30 minutes. We're not there yet.
Exactly. I definitely remember that. So with that, what is your long-term plan for your seed program? Do you see it? Yes, 6 is amazing, and you just done that within a year. Do you have like a long-term plan of what you would like to see with the programs?
I would like the community to get more involved. I would like to see more people bringing seeds that they saved from their own gardens. I would like, honestly, for the younger generation to take over, to do their own thing, to change it up, to, make it better. Because I'm limited on what I can do, but I feel if the younger generation came in and just was like took it over, I think it could be something great.
Mhm.
And again, yeah, more community involvement, more locally saved seeds, more seeds from people's gardens that they cared for. Um, So we could say these seeds were grown in Las Vegas. They made it through the summer. They survived, the monsoon seasons. They did all that. And so they're going to be better adapted to grow here. They're going to grow great here. And then so we're not so reliant on seed companies, because as we all saw during the pandemic, a lot of seeds sold out.
Yeah,
So if we had a community of seed savers, we don't have to be so reliant on outside companies to get our seeds.
absolutely.
That would be a dream, to be able to have a community of like, I have squash seeds, I have corn, I have sunflowers, and we could all share, and we all have enough to grow for the next season.
I love that. I love that view. And we're going to speak that comes into fruition. With that being said, can you describe to my audience of how the actual seed share is set up? Like, I don't think people get a visual of what it is. You talked about like the little free libraries, but can you describe your system and how it looks?
So they're all pretty different, but it's pretty much, there's a container, and inside are the seed packets. And I try to make them seasonally appropriate. So right now we have leafy greens and herbs. So like the one at your place, it's an old newspaper stand that my friend decorated for me. And then inside I used a business card holder, and the seed packets fit perfectly in that, and so that's what we use. At Parkdale, it's an old storage cube, so it's literally a cube, and you open it, and there's little containers that you just open and just grab a seed packet, and then that's it. Pretty simple. I love to repurpose stuff. Oh, and at the school garden, Arturo Cambrero, we used a mailbox. A
Mm,
mailbox, we painted it, and it's literally just a mailbox. You open it and pull some seeds out. So I love repurposing items, um, and giving them new life. So yeah, so I'm going to be doing one at one of the local libraries, hopefully, and they're going to let me use a card catalog. So that'll look pretty cool. I've been wanting one of those. Yeah, they all look very different. And you just literally come in, grab a packet, and it's as easy as that. I package them all. So when I get donations, usually it's like thousands of seeds in a packet. So I will split them up so there's enough for everybody. I will put our label on it, and then spread them out throughout the seed libraries.
awesome. Do you have your babies help participate in putting that together for you? Or
Sometimes
you
they see me and they're like, "Mommy, can we help? Can we help?" So I'll help them. So if you see some really crooked labels, it's because my babies are helping.
well,
They do
listen,
their
this is a part
best.
of teaching them that yes, it's a whole community that participates. So mommy don't have to do too much work, and as they get older, it'll be easier, and you can just delegate and say, "Hey, I need you to put the package on," and it'll be straight.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for that day. Yeah, that'll be amazing. Have my little crew helping me, all three of them.
Yes, that's a good thing. Can you tell me, or do you have a favorite artist or one of your favorite artists?
Favorite artist.
Or one of your favorite. You can have many because people say this is one of my favorite artists. It doesn't have to be that one, but someone that you just like, oh, this is what I jam to.
So I right now I'm in my senora era. So
I love
I'm
it.
in my older lady era. So I'm loving like the older Spanish artists, the Mexican artists, like Tigres del Norte, which is something my grandma listened to. And they just pretty much just tell stories throughout their songs. If you ever go to like a quinceañera, it's music you'll probably hear playing. My family is from Central America, so they really like cumbias.
Mm.
So Sonora Dinamita was one that I'm really loving right now when I just need to get like in the mood to start cleaning or get hyped up. That's like the dance music. So yeah, the older Hispanic Spanish songs, I'm really into those right now.
I love that. Can you give us maybe one song or say it in the native language and then maybe uh, translate the lyrics to us so we can know what it is?
Let me see, did I
And
write
I
that?
know it's hard because it doesn't fully translate, but you can give us an idea of what they're saying.
Um, Let me see. So the one that is playing right now in my head is probably Tigres del Norte, and this is probably a more mellow song, but
Mhm.
it's called Yo soy jefe de jefes, so I'm the boss of the boss. And
Oh,
he's pretty much saying these youngsters are trying to come in, but they don't understand the respect that I have, that I've earned. Um, and it's just telling a story about that. And these are just songs that when you're just like getting together with your friends, having a drink, and it's just very mellow, music that you would be playing.
yes.
So that's one that definitely is playing.
I like
And these
that.
are old, these are like when my grandma would listen to, my mom would listen to them, and now I'm listening to them. It's like passing down. And I remember when I was
Yes.
a kid, I would be like, why are you listening to that? And now that's what I'm listening to. And I'm like, oh, I get it now. Like I totally
I
get
just
it.
had that conversation. I feel like it comes full circle. It came full circle for me the other day. I was doing something and my daughter was listening. I said, "What are you listening to?" And she put her piece in my ear. And I was like, "Oh my gosh." I said, "You like this?" She was like, "Mom, you used to play it all the time." And I'm thinking, oh, before you'd be like, "Oh, that's old folks music." And she likes it. Not only does she like, she knows the lyrics and everything. I'm like, wow. So I think as we evolve, it's no longer what they call old folks music. You get the meaning and the just like they talked about when you said the boss of the boss.
Mm-hmm.
That's talking about respect. You're not going to just come in here and take over. Let me tell you what I've been through before you think you can run this ship.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I love that music can take us through any lanes in life and it has so much knowledge and we can look at it through the past and also the future.
Yeah.
With that being said, can you tell us a song that you heard repeatedly as a child that you did not like? You was like, what is this? I don't like it. It's like we talked about. And now when you're out and about and you hear it, it brings back memories.
It would be the same group. Again, my grandma would play this, and my grandma was very, very Christian. I'm like, why are you listening to this? Um, and when I would hear it, I'd be like, oh, that's her old people music. But now when I hear it, it reminds me of her. And it
Mm.
just brings very happy memories of me just walking into her house and she had it playing on the stereo and she was sitting on the couch with her coffee. She's no longer with us. So it helps me to remember her. And it always just makes me very happy whenever I hear that band play because it just brings me thoughts of her. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, that same band, Tigres del Norte, which translates to Tigers of the North. It doesn't
Oh,
sound as great in English. But yeah, it just every time or seeing her when she was sleeping and she was like dancing to them. It always brings me very happy memories of my grandma.
that's amazing. So I have a thing here on my podcast. If a person has transitioned on, I believe if we don't say their name, they transition two times. Once a physical death, second a spiritual death if we don't say their name, because we must still talk about them. It makes them relevant. It gives them energy on the other side. So can you please, with great pride, say your grandmother's first and last name?
So she was named Matilde Evelisa Zavala, but I called her Mami Eve.
Mm,
For her middle name. So she was always Mami Eve, Mami
mm,
Eve.
mm.
Uh,
Oh,
it's been 7 years almost since she passed, but it's still every time I think of her, it's like it was just yesterday. So
mm,
love her dearly. She was an amazing, strong woman. She came from El Salvador during the war, walking to the United States. Like, I couldn't even imagine like walking to LA. She literally walked across countries
Wow.
to come here for a better life, to escape the war. So she was an incredibly strong woman. Could not read or write. I remember I taught her how to sign her name when I was a kid in cursive. She still always managed to have a job. She still always managed to figure things out. She could not read or write in Spanish, so they were too poor to go to school. And she barely understood English, but she was always hustling. Always figured it out, always had a job, always had money, was always trying to give me money. So
Oh,
she was an incredible woman.
well, we count her as a brilliant woman. She's brilliant because if she didn't have that and she was still able to navigate through life,
Mhm.
she's brilliant. So I didn't mean to, I can see I kind of touched a nerve when I brought that up, but I hope it's out of love and elevation that we talk about her. And I hope you didn't mind me bringing her up.
No, she's an amazing woman. I should talk about her more often. So yeah, these are just, God, I remember somebody said it. This is just my love that I was not able to express while she was here. Right? So
Mm.
these tears are just the love I wish I could still give her. But yeah, no, yeah, loved her very much.
I love that. And you can tell that she poured into you tremendously. And that love is being manifest today. And I'm pretty sure that love is also being manifest with your children.
Yes. Hmm.
So we thank you for sharing a part of your heart with my audience about your grandmother. I appreciate you for that. So we're going to go a different way. Before we get out of here, I always talk about this one particular. So I believe in high energy. I love high energy. Like, I'm like, oh, yes, I'm the first one to get hyped up about a song. For example, say you're at a birthday dinner or a birthday party. You hear people sing happy birthday, even like when you go into a Mexican restaurant and they come out and they say that and they play the guitar and they put the sombrero on you, or even just, you go, happy birthday to you. All of that just has that high energy. And the great thing is to watch the crowd participate, or you participate in a part of it, because sometimes people will join in and start singing. They have no idea who you are. They'll participate. Do you have a song that you participated in with high energy, or you watched a crowd participated in with high energy?
I feel like the song that always like changes like the energy, and it's a song about a beeper. It's literally called El Beeper, but it just comes on and you're like El Beeper, and everybody's just dancing to a song about a beeper. But it's just the best song, and it just gets you up and dancing. And I feel if you play that anywhere, the whole crowd's just gonna be like every bit, even if you don't know what's going on. You're like, why are we singing about a beeper? But it is such a great song to just, especially if I'm trying to get in the mood. Oh, I need to clean this house. I play that song. I'm like, let's get going. Let's get pumped up. Let's get dancing and cleaning. So yeah, that song about a beeper.
I
It's
love
a
it.
really good song.
Does it just repeat, or does it talk any more about the beeper?
I think it's mostly just the beat and the music, but he's literally going and beep it. That's pretty much all he's really saying about the song. But it's so good.
I bet, because you was like,
Yep.
mm-mm-mm,
Yep. You just want to
mm-mm-mm.
dance whenever you hear it.
Oh, that is so wonderful. Um, I thank you so much for sharing bits of you with personal and professional and your family and your story. I'm so appreciative of that. And before we get out of here, can you please share with my audience any social media handles you have going on, any upcoming events you're doing partnership with, or any information you would like to share?
Yeah, the seed share is on Instagram. It's at eastlvseedshare. Um, any events right now? We're not, I think we're doing one in May. I'm probably not going to be doing as many this year, unfortunately, but we are planning on putting 2 more seed libraries, hopefully one in Spring Valley, like public library, one at Whitney Rec Center, We have it at Parkdale. We have it at Solidarity. Gosh, we have them with you at the Historic West Side School. So definitely check those out for your seeds. Seed starting time is now. Spring will be here before we know it. Events, I'm hoping we do some this year, maybe around Earth Day. So if I do, they'll be posted on Instagram. And yeah, if anybody has any seeds they want to donate, I would love it. We can definitely use more seeds.
Awesome. Is there an email address you can provide? So if they do want to leave some seeds, they can get in touch with you?
Yeah, so it's eastlvseedshare@gmail.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, anytime I end a podcast, I always end with this particular thing, that the journey is just as important as the destination. The journey is where we learn and where we grow. The destination is where we celebrate. I believe we always have to have a time to celebrate. But when it's all said and done, we can't celebrate for too long. We have to get back into that journey and continue to learn. So I thank you. I appreciate you. I continue to do what's on your heart for the community, for your family. And anytime I leave this particular, my episode for the men, I salute them, but for the women, I bow. So I bow to you.
Thank you.
Beautiful lady. And I always like my guests to have the last word. Is there any one last word you would like to leave with the audience?
Well, regarding seed sharing, just try it, just give it a shot. I know we're very disconnected from the earth, but I feel like we just need to get connected back to it, because this is the only one we have. The earth has given us everything we need to survive. Just get out, plant some seeds, watch it grow, and your life will be changed. It's amazing how beautiful the earth is, how giving it is, how abundant it is. If, like a sunflower, you plant one sunflower seed, you're going to get a beautiful sunflower, and then it's going to give you hundreds of more seeds to keep on growing. So yeah, just appreciate the earth, appreciate Mother Earth. She's beautiful, and go out and plant something, and you'll see how beautiful the earth is.
Yes. You guys, please put your hands together and thank my beautiful guest, Marilyn. Thank you so very much. And I will see you out here, as I say to everyone else, in these Las Vegas streets.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for saying yes.